Are you a high mileage rider? Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome to Motorcycle Den, and today we are talking about high mileage riding. Nearing the end of a riding season, or the end of the year, should I say, do you feel like, man, I have not rode nearly as much as I want? I need to really get out and put some miles on the bike. Or you're like, I've ridden plenty, it doesn't really matter. Or maybe you don't even care about the miles at all. Now for me, there for a while we were riding close to 10,000 miles every year. And the past 3 years, we haven't even come close to that. So I would like to ride about 10 to 12,000 miles a year, probably. I mean, if more would be great, but it's beautiful for here, huh? But I don't ride to work, so I don't commute. So most of our riding is either a trip or on a weekend. Occasionally on the evening after work, we'll ride a little bit. If you commute, that's going to make a huge difference on the amount of miles that you put on, because that can really add up. Especially if you have a dry year, you ride almost every day or something. I mean, you may ride even if it rains. Some people do. We will ride in the rain, but we don't want to start out in the rain unless we're like on a trip. If we're leaving on a trip, we've started out in the rain before, and we will. But on a weekend ride, we'd rather not ride in the rain. I mean, we've been out, got caught in the rain. Really rather not start out in the rain. Would you consider yourself a high mileage rider, a low mileage rider, or somewhere in between? It varies with us from year to year. We've had some good years where we ride a fair amount. We've had some where we haven't rode nearly as much as I'd want. But like Mrs. Den always says, no matter how much I ride, it's not enough.
That's true. It doesn't matter how many miles. You're always complaining you haven't got to ride. We could just get back from a trip, ride a couple thousand miles, and he'll be like, "We would hardly ridden." Yeah.
I guess I do kind of do that.
There's no guessing.
But Mrs. Den had mentioned this before. Maybe just be satisfied with the miles that we did get to ride. And that's true. I mean, and I do enjoy each time we get out. Some people, they might not even be able to ride anymore, whether maybe not because of health conditions of their own, but maybe somebody else that they're taking care of, or they may have health conditions going on that doesn't allow them to ride or ride as much as they want. If you were one of those people that put 50,000 miles a year on your motorcycle, does it get to a point where you don't appreciate the miles that you have ridden? It's just like, it's just another day, another trip, whatever, maybe you don't appreciate it as much, or does that change at all for the more miles you put on or the less miles? Maybe you appreciate it more if you don't get to ride as often as someone else. I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you think, Mrs. Den?
I think you'll appreciate it no matter what, because you're seeing something new. You know what I mean? If you're riding that many miles a year, you can go far away from home. Typically, you complain a lot about we've anything close to the house we've already been on 100 times this year. You know what I mean? Because of course, because you're leaving from your house. But I think with if you're able to ride that far in a year, you are going out and about. So I think if you're seeing new things, even like a different direction on a road, I think you can get that. I always thought that as long as you were on the bike, you didn't care, but you do care.
What do you mean didn't care?
I always thought that if you were on the bike, you didn't care so much about where you go. But I've wanted to go certain places, on the bike, you don't want to go because you don't like the roads. It's too flat, or it's not, there's nothing really good there at that area, or, you know what I mean? It's not a good motorcycle road.
I guess I do.
And so you are a little picky about. I don't think you used to be. I think you are now, though.
I guess I do kind of favor certain type of roads. And like we've been to Illinois, and this is nothing against Illinois. I mean, we were in southern Illinois, and it's beautiful there. But until we got down to the southern part of the state, the roads were extremely flat and straight. Those roads, I mean, they're neat once in a while, just to be able to see, farmland or wide open land or something. But after a while, a road that's just flat and straight, man, it gets boring.
Before, I think as long as you were on the bike, you didn't care. I mean, you'd go anywhere as long as we took the bike. And so, I don't know.
Well, I wonder if that comes back to my question on the more you ride, do you maybe not appreciate it as much? You say, so years back, as long as I was on it, I was happy. But now, I feel like I want to ride certain roads and not others as much.
Right.
And maybe that's because of the amount of time I've spent on a motorcycle. I don't know.
Or maybe you're just getting picky the older you get.
Well, that could be too. Let us know what kind of ride you do. If you are a long distance rider, high mileage rider, low mileage rider, don't really care. Or maybe want to be a high mileage rider, but can't for whatever reason. Speaking of high mileage, me and Mrs. Den, we're planning on riding the Iron Butt. We'll be getting together plans for that. I think that would be cool to do together. And I think we can do it. I'm not too concerned about not being able to do it. But I do want to do it before we get too old. I mean, the older you get, probably the harder it's going to be. To a point.
Oh, your stamina just sitting there, I think, because you're getting older.
Well, yeah. Probably has a lot to do with the shape you're in, though. If you stay in shape, probably makes it easier.
We better get in shape.
I know, I better get in shape, huh? Better start working out or something again. Let us know. What kind of rider are you? And we thank you for watching. We will talk to you guys later. See ya.